यशोदानन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना जमुना तीरा वनचार्य जमुना तीरा वनचार्य जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन जमुना तीरा वनचार्य जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vāsudevāya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vāsudevāya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपः कुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. This morning we are discussing from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1st, entitled Creation, Chapter 8, entitled Prayers by Queen Kunti, Text 48. Aho me pashyata ajnanam hrudi rudham duratmanah paraksha eva dehasya bahavyo me क्षौहिनीर हता अहो मे पश्यत अज्ञानम अहो मे पश्यत अज्ञानम हृदि रूढ़ं दुरात्मना हृदि रूढ़ं दुरात्मनः पारक्ष्यस्यैव देहस्य पारक्षस्यैव देहस्य बाह्यो मे अक्षयोनिर्हता बाह्यो मे अक्षयोनिर्हता अहो मे पश्यत अज्ञानम हृदि रूढ़ं दुरात्मनः पारक्षस्यैव देहस्य बाह्यो मे अक्षयोनिर्हता अहो मे पश्यत अज्ञानम हृदि रूढ़ं दुरात्मनः पारक्षस्यैव देहस्य बह्व्यो मे अक्षयोनिर्हता मे अक्षयोनिर्हता अहो मे पश्यत अज्ञानं हृदि रूढं दुरात्मनः पारक्षस्य देवस्य बह्व्यो मे अक्षयोनिर्हता अहो मे पश्यत अज्ञानं हृदि रूढं दुरात्मनः पारक्षस्यैव देहस्य बह्व्यो मे अक्षयोनिर्हता. Anybody from Vaishnavis? We'll see word to word meaning. Aho, oh, me, my, pashyata, just see, ajnanam, ignorance, hridi, in the heart, rudham, situated in, duratmanaha, of the sinful, parakshasya, meant for others, eva, certainly, dehasya, of the body, bhavya, many, me, by me, akshayoni, combination of military phalanxes, hataha, killed. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. King Yudhishthira said, O my Lord, I am the most sinful man. Just see my heart which is full of ignorance. This body, which is ultimately meant for others, has killed many phalanxes of men. Please recite the translation response. King Yudhishthira said, O my Lord, I am the most sinful man. Just see my heart, which is full of ignorance. This body, which is ultimately meant for others, has killed many phalanxes of men. Purport. A solid phalanx of, no purport response. A solid phalanx of 21,870 chariots, 21,870 elephants, 1,09,650 infantry, and 65,600 cavalry is called an Akshayoni. And many Akshayonis were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Maharaja Yudhishthira, as the most pious king of the world, takes for himself the responsibility for killing such a huge number of living beings because the battle was fought to reinstate him on the throne. This body, after all, meant for others. While there is a life in this body, it is meant for the service of others, and when it is dead, it is meant to be eaten by dogs and jackals and maggots. He is sorry because for such a temporary body, such a huge massacre was committed. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahiyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च Sometimes Vaishnavas express this anger, but that anger is to destroy religion. So having done that, probably Yudhishthira has still not got his lesson of Atma Jnanam. That ultimately body is meant for others. Now to speak like that, it is very easy. Body is meant for others. Why it is meant for others? Because originally it is given by others. Like we may say that I was born with my body, but that body was given to you by your father and mother. And when you die, you cannot carry body along with you. You cannot say that, okay, no, this body I take care of my body for 80 years. Now let me carry this body for, next life also. Like generally in the concepts of governing a land, generally in the Indian law, anybody who is taking care of a particular piece of land for so many years, that land belongs to him. But in the concept of body, it is not like that. You took care of body for 8 years, it does not mean that the body belongs to you. That's why here Yudhishthira says, Parakshasyasyaiva dehasya. Ultimately, this body is for others. While living in this body also, hardly you do any service to your body. Generally, you serve other bodies. Like a person who is employed, he works 8 hours for others' bodies, right? It does not work for him. The only time when he works for his body is eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That is his body take care. What other things you do, it is for others. So this body was given to us by others. While living in this body, we serve others. And after we death, we serve whom? The body serves whom? Prabhupada writes maggots, dogs, jackals and maggots, because they come and eat the body. No matter how rich you are, sir, you cannot say that my dead body should not be eaten by ants and insects. Like suppose a very rich person dies, can he write in his will that my body should not be eaten up by insects? He can't do that. Like that. So that's why this deha, parakshasya dehasya. So whenever we do any activity, we should do whether we are doing it for parakshasya dehasya or atma. Like for example, we have a particular land in our name, right? And an adjacent land belongs to somebody else, right? So you want to construct a house, on which part of land will you construct? Or the part which belongs to you, or a part which belongs to somebody else? Belongs to you, right? Now you may say that I built a very nice house, but the land belongs to somebody else. Suppose you invested 2 crores of money on building a constructed building, nice building, but the land belongs to somebody else. Will that be any benefit for you? In fact, you will be treated as illegal and you may put into jail. This is what sense gratification means. You are trying to do something which is illegal. The body does not belong to you. And why are you doing sense gratification? You may say that the sense gratification is very nice. The house which I have built is very nice. See, it has nice hall, nice palaces, nice rooms. But on the ground which you have built, it is illegal. And you will be put into jail. Similarly, somebody may say that even though I did very nice dharmic sense gratification, but that is illegal. You might still end up going to hell. Right? So that's why we should know that on whose ground are we building the home. So that's why Prahlad Maharaj says that the real selfishness is Krishna consciousness. Real thing, the house you want to build, the endeavor you want to do it on Atma, your own self. Build your Krishna consciousness. If you do not build your Krishna consciousness, you build something else. Illegal. Parashasya devasya. You are building houses on somebody else. Now how many of us are really interested in building houses on somebody else? So imagine, what are we supposed to do? Supposed to do Krishna consciousness, build house on your own, that which belongs to you. Like that. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, although he had this jnanam, he was never interested to become a king. He never thought that this kingdom belongs to me also. He only fought because Krishna told you fight. How can this be proved? Even when the whole battle of Kurukshetra completed, this foolish Dhritarashtra used to go and sit on the throne. Can you imagine this, how shameful it is? That you lost the kingdom, all your sons are dead, and there is nobody even to act like minister for you. For Dhritarashtra, all the practical governance and everything was done by Yudhishthir only. But still there is no ministers to sit for you, to give you counsel, to sit and take your orders. Dhritarashtra used to still blindly, go and sit on the throne. And he used to think that, I am doing good. This throne is mine. Until this Vidura came and opened his eyes. What did Vidura say to Dhritarashtra? That just like dogs feast on bones left over by tigers or lions, you are eating the food which is left over by Bhima. Right? Why he used the word Bhima? Because Bhima is the one who killed all his sons. And if we know, this Dhritarashtra had, because of that, Dhritarashtra had great enmity with Bhima. Although you see, generally, a superior generation person should never have enmity with inferior generation person. Enmity of the sort that we will kill them. Right? So Dhritarashtra, in his palace, of course, it was not made by Dhritarashtra, it was made by Duryodhana. Duryodhana made a mannequin of Bhima because he wanted to see how I will attack Bhima. What is his height and how does he look like, what is his strength. It was like, made of some very solid metal mannequin of Bhima. So when finally all the Pandavas won the battle, they all came and took blessings of Dhritarashtra. Can you imagine the quality of Pandavas? When Yudhishthira, all of us, they won the battle, they came and seek blessings of the Dhritarashtra. I mean, a normal person, even a generally averagely advanced Vaishnava, we feel that they will feel, what nonsense here. This guy is the main culprit for everything. Because being a king, you cannot keep quiet for injustice. If you are a king and if you keep quiet for injustices, that means you are fooling around. Kshatriya means to protect from kshiti, any kind of loss, that let that be wealth, let that be respect, let that be family, a Kshatriya is supposed to protect. So what kind of Kshatriya Dhritarashtra is? He is just keeping quiet in all the injustices for Pandavas. But nonetheless, Pandavas come. They tell that, let go, no problem. We will come and seek blessings from Dhritarashtra. So then Dhritarashtra actingly said, oh, where is my very dear son Bhima? Please, I want to embrace Bhima. So then they were going and trying to embrace. Bhima was stepping little ahead to embrace Dhritarashtra. Then Krishna says, no, don't go and embrace Dhritarashtra. Because Dhritarashtra also had a very strong bodily strength. His strength was also equivalent of 10,000 elephants, just like Bhima had. So he says, you don't go and embrace. So Krishna directs Bhima that go and bring your mannequin, which was in Duryodhana's chamber. So he brings Duryodhana's chamber, that mannequin, and keeps. Then this Bhima speaks from little behind, saying that please embrace me. So Dhritarashtra comes forwards and he embraces him so tightly with the intention of killing Bhima. And the whole mannequin gets broken. And then the intention of Dhritarashtra comes out. And even after that, so foolishly, he still sits on the throne. So that is the state. So it needs a right kind of injection to go in. The Atma Jnanam sometimes needs right kind of injection. Like for example, we human beings, when we get sick, we go to a doctor and the doctor puts very light injection. He'll just rub your skin a little bit and he gives injection. But similarly, if a buffalo gets some disease, you will not see that doctor will go and put some this thing and try to put injection. He puts very thick injection and he hits like this to buffalo. You have seen that? He takes an injection, he hits like this to buffalo. Then the injection goes in. Otherwise, if you softly try, If you see the buffalo is very good animal, we'll give soft injection, it doesn't work. So Vidura had that injection for Dhritarashtra. And that injection was, you are eating bones like a dog, which dog eats leftovers of a lion. Then Dhritarashtra understood. And he said, okay, now I got an injection. He left like that. So anyways, that kind of injection is not given for devotees. This devotee's delusion is of a different category. This devotee's illusion is to enlighten general populace. Like this, sometimes even Rama used to do. When Rama used to host great sages, Lord Ramachandra used to ask questions, so that when the great sages reply to the answer, the people in general get benefited. Who are sitting in the assembly, hear the instructions of great sages, they get benefited. It is not that Lord Ram did not have Atma Jnanam and he is sitting with sages and trying to learn. So similarly, Yudhishthira becoming bewildered also is an arrangement of Krishna. So Krishna told Yudhishthira that whatever you do is right. But still Yudhishthira is having lamentation. Then he goes to various other people. And all the people say, no, you are the rightful king. You won the battle according to Dharma, Yuddha. So now you should sit on the throne and rule. And still Yudhishthira is crying, no, for me, so many people have been died. So what do you do? Somebody who is lamenting, somebody who is mourning, the best course of action is to go to a spiritual master. When we have material lamentation, material confusion, only a guru can solve. And who else can be a good, wonderful guru other than Bhishma? So then Yudhishthira was advised. Yudhishthira was advised by Krishna, okay, you are not listening to my instructions. So you better go to Bhishma Pitamaha. He will speak with full realization. Why Bhishma Pitamaha can speak with full realization? Because the entire span of Mahabharata, even from the times of Shantanu, Bhishma is the ruler, actually saying. Because when Shantanu had a desire to marry third time, if I am not wrong, or second time after the Ganga's departure, it is Bhishma who took the promise that I will never get married and I will never accept the throne. But he did one promise, that till the time I have seen that there is a rightful higher, I will not leave my body. And I am Aparajaya. Aparajaya means nobody can defeat me. So from that time, almost like, it should be, if we calculate years, it will be more than 100 and 150 years that Bhishma is living and ruling the entire Hastinapur. Because Dhritarashtra was blind in terms of managing affairs and even in spiritual subject matter. Dhritarashtra is blind. And he had two half-brothers, two half-brothers, Vichitraveer and Chitrangada. And Chitrangada died untimely. Vichitraveer also died. And for some time there was no kingdom at all, king at all. So Bhishma was a rightful person to speak the history of Hastinapur and what is right that has happened in Hastinapur, what is wrong that has happened in Hastinapur. So Krishna tells all the Pandavas, especially Yudhishthira, now you please go and hear from Bhishma whether what you have done is right or wrong. So when we go to somebody who is very elder, of course, elder here does not mean just by age, it is by experience. And of course, experience comes by age also, but does not mean necessarily by age also. Like Dhritarashtra also lived for a quite amount of time, but the realization did not come. So Bhishma being superior in terms of age, in terms of realization, even in terms of devotion. So Yudhishthira advised that you please go to Bhishma. And don't go just like that. Dress up like kings. Dress up like kings and go, so that Bhishma will also have this satisfaction. Because when Bhishma saw that these 5 sons are growing up, he had a great desire, Bhishma had a great desire, that how good it will be if Yudhishthira becomes king. So generally people should be interested that a rightful person becomes king, a dharmagya person becomes king. We see in the land of Ayodhya also, that Dasharatha was a very good king. You can never find that Dasharatha did any mistake, apart from he killing that parents of Shravan, Kumar parents, That was just one mistake of the Dasharatha. But apart from that, in general, in his management, there were no mistake. But when the proposal was made that let Ramchandra become king, everyone was so delighted because they know that Rama will be a very great dharmagya, even more than his father. So Bhishma had this great desire that Yudhishthira should become king. Yudhishthira, who is a very righteous person, very, very selfless person, he will never do anything for his sense gratification. That is the qualification of king. But unfortunately in democracy what happens, that we elect a king who is interested in his sense gratification. Ultimately we end up doing like that. And the people cheat around in a very dubious way. But the quality of a king is that he should be selfless. So that selflessness is there in Yudhishthira by he saying that, for my body, for my own sense gratification, I killed so many people. That was his lamentation. Aho me pashyata agyanam. See how much I am ignorant. So somebody who is very, of course, definitely in general people are ignorant. But this agyanam is ignorance out of humility. What Yudhishthira is presenting that I am agyanam is out of humility. Like when Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they told that we are so foolish that we don't know who we are. So are we to accept that proposition of Rupa Goswami in truth? That, Rupa Goswami doesn't know who he is. And what is his rightful duties also Rupa Goswami doesn't know. We cannot conclude like that. The same idea is presented here by Yudhishthira. That, see, I am so ignorant. This ignorance is out of humility, not out of factual knowledge. So when Yudhishthira expressed like that, when they were summoned by Krishna that please go and hear instructions from Bhishma, so that is the time when they were, satisfied. So in spiritual life also, in the practicing spiritual life of sadhakas, we should have somebody whom we can express our heart and feel satisfied from. Even though there may not be any solution, like for example, Yudhishthira is lamenting now that these so many people have died. So there is no solution that these people will be brought alive back. But just by hearing Atma Jnanam from such a realized person gives us satisfaction of the heart. So that satisfaction of the heart precisely is needed by everyone in Krishna consciousness. There should be somebody in our life, generally a guru or a superior person, at whose presence we can express all our concerns, and then he gives rightful solution, rightful guidance, then we feel satisfied. That is needed by even great personality like Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira, somebody who has, if you hear this conversation between Yudhishthira and Yaksha, and there is a whole section in Mahabharata where Yaksha asks questions to Yudhishthira and Yudhishthira answers. So there you will see that Yudhishthira is a very great knowledgeable person in terms of being a Kshatriya, in terms of being a Brahmana. All the knowledge of spiritual life, material life, everything Yudhishthira had. But sometimes we feel the despondence that my heart is not satisfied by this violence. My heart is not satisfied by this violence. So those are the times when we need a guru. And Krishna is not acting as a guru. Because Krishna is giving a chance to glorify Bhishma also. So when Yudhishthira, definitely when he goes to Bhishma, and Bhishma speaks about the entire history of Hastinapur, he tells that what all activities have been happened, my dear Yudhishthira, do not think that it has happened without permission of Krishna. Without permission of the Supreme, nothing happens. And now that the things have happened and now it is being favorable to you, you have to just accept it. You cannot say that you were wrong, and neither you will be punished. Like here, or in the future, Yudhishthira tells, I don't know how many millions of years I may have to go to hell. So but Krishna is telling, Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja, aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksheshyami ma sucha. He is not telling just to Arjuna. He is telling to all Pandavas, you just surrender to me. In that surrender, even if there is apparently so much of sin, you all will be evaded of all these sins. You'll never be, put to question for all these sufferings. So Yudhishthira was given this all Atma Jnanam. So when we have this Atma Jnanam, you will see that even if this Atma Jnanam is so powerful that even if this Atma Jnanam is given by somebody who is unqualified, it helps. Like for example, this Hiranyakashipu gave this Atma Jnanam to the wives of Hiranyaksha, and then the wives of Hiranyaksha gave up lamentation also. Can you imagine a demon preaching Atma Jnanam and the wives of demon also becoming satisfied with this Atma Jnanam? So this Atma Jnanam is so powerful. Because when we have Atma Jnanam, then it is like a shield. Nothing can disturb us. So Yudhishthira was given Atma Jnanam, but of course, definitely, as I said, it should be administered by the right person. So this Atma Jnanam, when it was given by Hiranyakashipu also, it helped. So here, what to speak of when Bhishma, who is a very, very realized person, who is speaking his entire life out. In fact, that was the moment where Bhishma was waiting for. And I want to see Pandavas as king, and I want to see Krishna, and then I want to leave this planet. This was his pratigya, that I want to see rightful king. And what great fortune a person will have when he sees Krishna and he dies. All these people whom we are lamenting, the Yudhishthira, they all saw Krishna while they were dying. So this is a great fortune that you have awarded to all these people. Otherwise, these people would have ended up doing so many sinful activities. And if they would have died at that position, they would have gone to hell. Better you kill them now because Krishna was standing. Krishna was acting as a charioteer for Arjuna. So everyone who is dying, everyone who is looking towards Krishna, and then all got delivered. In one of the purports during this, Prabhupada writes that everyone in the battlefield got delivered. So Yudhishthira became means not for killing so many people, but became means to deliverance of so many people. So why should he lament? Why should he lament? And then Bhishma, some people who are not very Krishna conscious, they give this idea that Bhishma was calculating time, that when will that Uttarayana come and when will I pass away. Like Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, the time of Uttarayana is very auspicious for sages to live. So that Uttarayana comes January 15th, when the sun starts moving into the northern side, northern direction. So that time is considered very auspicious because the constellations are so arranged that the doors for heavenly planets, and some people even say Vaikuntha, are very easily achievable. So some people give a materialistic understanding of this, that Bhishma was waiting for Uttarayana, but it was not so like that. So Bhagavatam gives very, very, cryptic messages. You understand what is cryptic message? Like a message comes, unless you have decoding technology, you cannot decode that signal. So Bhagavatam sometimes gives very, very cryptic messages. And these cryptic messages can be decoded only if you have devotion. Somebody who does not have devotion, he will get a wrong message. Right? So what is that decoding that Bhishma is waiting for Uttarayana? What does Uttarayana mean? Uttara means north. Ayana means movement. Uttara Ayanam. So, externally speaking, Uttarayana means the movement of sun in the northern hemisphere. Uttarayana also means something else. You all know there is a personality, Uttara. Who is Uttara? Mother of Pariksit Maharaj. Uttara Ayanam also means somebody who has taken shelter of Uttara. Uttara Ayanam means somebody who has taken shelter of Uttara. So just like Pariksit also can be called as Uttara Ayanam. But because to save Pariksit, Krishna also took shelter of Uttara to go inside her womb and protect Pariksit. So this Uttarayana refers that Bhishma is waiting for Uttarayana, means Bhishma is waiting for Krishna, not for the movement of sun. So of course it is incidental that both happened, in a confluence. Confluence means both happened simultaneously. Krishna came in front of Bhishma, Pandavas came in front of Bhishma, and the sun also started moving towards north. But Bhishma's delight was not that, sun started moving towards north. Bhishma's delight was Krishna came in front of me. And for the sake of this unhappy heart of Yudhishthira, that I have committed so many sins, probably, what Bhishma is giving, that you chant these holy names of Krishna. Bhishma gave this Vishnu Sahasranamam, which so many of the people in South India chant every day. There is great Falashruti for Vishnu Sahasranamam also. And Bhishma's delight was that I am chanting the names of Krishna in presence of Krishna for the pleasure of great devotees of Krishna. So that fortune we also have. When we sing Kirtan, we sing Krishna's name in the presence of Krishna for the pleasure of devotees. So Bhishma had that fortune of singing this Vishnu Sahasranamam, Vishvam Vishvava Shatkaro, all that goes on and on and on. 108 verses. So when Bhishma offered these prayers, and that prayers, in one of the Falashruti of the prayers is that all the papa is destroyed. So Yudhishthira was given this bodhana that even if you think that you have committed some, just chant the holy names of Krishna. So we also have this fortune. Knowingly, unknowingly, we commit so many sins. We kill so many animals. While cleaning, we kill so many insects. While walking, breathing. I think there were like 6 or 7 types of sins which are inevitable in the Shastras, it is mentioned. That when you light a fire, when you breathe, when you walk, like there are 3, 4, 5 categories by which you inevitably commit sin. The whole solution for everything is just chant the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Bhishma was very, very happy to see that Krishna is giving shelter to Yudhishthira. And Yudhishthira has accepted the shelter of Krishna. And Bhishma, seeing that now you rule under the guidance of Krishna, Bhishma departed. Like that. So there is one more chapter. The next chapter is passing away of Bhishma Dev. So there you will see many more descriptions, enlightenments of Bhishma Pitamaha being spoken about. So this is what I thought we will discuss in today's Bhagavatam class. Just to summarize that, the Pasyaita Ajnanam refers to the softness and humility of Yudhishthira, not really Ajnanam. And the Parakshasya Devasya, what are we supposed to do in our life? Are we supposed to build a buildings on somebody else's land, or supposed to build on our own land? How many of you are interested in building land on your own, building house on your own land? Please raise your hand. Everyone, right? So chant Hare Krishna nicely and be Krishna conscious. That is what we are building in our own existence. So this is what the situation of Yudhishthira is, and what solution is offered by Krishna, you all know that. So thank you all very much for giving me opportunity. Anybody has any questions or comments, you can please do so. Yes, Bhav, my Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for enlightening class.
Thank you.
You were telling about Atma Jnana, where we find in Bhagavatam only so many places where the demons have this Atma Jnana, but because of the bad association, they are demons.
They are demons.
How does it affect the Atma Jnana? It is subject to time, place, circumstances, or it's beyond the...
See, Atma Jnanam to large extent can remove your material, unhappiness of heart, Atma Jnanam. But that will not necessarily bring up Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness comes by the mercy of devotees, not by the Atma Jnanam. So when the Atma Jnanam is administered by devotees, then you become Krishna conscious. You will never see that wives of Hiranyaksha, they started chanting Hare Krishna, worshipping Vishnu, nothing happened like that. So Atma Jnanam can give you momentarily relief from suffering. But only when you have mercy of devotees, that is the time you become Krishna conscious.
In the case of Vyasadeva and Devaki and Kamsa, where the Kamsa, he got realized after the prophecy done by Yogamaya, that the child is born somewhere else. he is going to kill. At that time, Kamsa, he realized and he asked forgiveness Vasudeva and Devaki. There he gave the same Atma Jnana.
He got
influenced, but as soon as he gone out,
as there is no mercy of devotees, then that Atma Jnanam is not sustained, does not fructify.
There, Vasudeva and Devaki, they said, we forgiven you.
So even they might have forgiven, but there is no mercy. There is no mercy of devotees that Kamsa got. Because you will see that even after that, again he imprisoned. Even after that, I think he again imprisoned Vasudeva and Devaki before telling that Krishna should come to Mathura. He again imprisoned Devaki and Vasudeva once again. So Atma Jnanam will help only temporarily. It is not permanent. Only when it comes from the mercy of devotees, then it will give that effect.
That means conclusion is that self-realization is not the
ultimate goal. Definitely, if you read Bhagavad Gita, it's only 2nd chapter. When you come to 9th chapter, 12th chapter, 18th chapter, that is the places of realization for Arjuna. Not 2nd chapter. After 2nd chapter, he did not say, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. I am doing 9th chapter, 12th chapter, 18th chapter, like that. Okay?
Atma Jnanam is the first step in the spiritual journey?
Yes. Because unless a person becomes a little bit detached from material things, grasping Krishna consciousness is not possible. Right? Okay. Any further questions? Thank you all very much for giving me this opportunity. Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Just a small announcement, if I can give permission. So, fortunately, I just got a news when I was coming here to the temple that His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj is visiting Attapur for 3 hours today. So, he is in transit from Tirupati to Kolkata, and the flight is halting in Hyderabad for a few hours. So, 3 o'clock he is landing, and 8 o'clock is his next flight. So just for a transit visit, we'll have His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj here in Attapur. Srila Prabhupada ki, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki.